What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney 6. Nayuta has confessed to the crime of killing Inga, and naturally we know that's false, so we're trying to prove it that way. That doesn't make sense. Prove it that way. You can't say that. Prove that he's lying. Sure. Save you? Yes, save me. Like he did on that day. How vague. Hold on, I'm coming! Yet their clothes are dry. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me, understand? Someday, he would come and free our family from the chains of the past. Perhaps deep down, that is what I believed. I believed in Dirk, our father. However, it was but a dream, and now that dream has died. Murdered along with Dirk. So now, as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely onto me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all this sin. It is the only way. But
Such insolence!
You have wasted more than enough of my time, lawyer. Do you not see the futility of your desperate floundering, the immutability of this duty? His duty. His booty. Take! Don't knock that down! It is time to accept defeat. Take! Now watch as the hammer of justice comes down upon your dear brother. The verdict, if you will. Yes, Your Eminence.
Objection!
Wait a second! What do I do? Does the defense wish to raise an objection? There's gotta be some way to save Nayuta. It all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. It's branded him the son of a criminal. So if we could once and for all prove that Dirk didn't try to assassinate Amara... Right, Nayuta and Rafa's father would no longer be viewed as a criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left. Because it was all destroyed in the fire. And Dirk investigated the matter for years, but never managed to learn anything new. Nothing at all? Could an exceptional lawyer like Dirk try that long and really uncovered nothing at all? He had over 2 decades, Apollo. He's right. I doubt Dirk would have gone to his grave without discovering something new. He must have secretly planted something to topple Garen with somewhere. Take another look at the evidence. You just might find what we need to break out of the situation with in there. If the defense is done stalling for time, I shall now render my verdict. Wait. About the assassination attempt 23 years ago. The defense has some new information it would like to share. You do? Well, we had intended to deliberate that case in the course of this trial. Did you leave something behind for me? Is there some connection I'm missing here? Very well then. What is the source of your new information about the case from 23 years ago?
Take that!
It's like one of the Oh, it's right! I was pretty sure, which is why I guessed it. Because it's like, it's been sitting in my evidence for freaking ever. It's gonna be stupid if they gave it to me for no reason. Of course, I have no idea how it ties into this. Do you recall the traveling musician who died in the fire 23 years ago? How could anyone forget such a painful chapter? Really? How could we forget the death of some random guy 23 years ago? This foreigner. Yes! Everyone remembers. We pray for him every Saturday and Sunday. The poor fellow was caught up in the blaze that was meant for Queen Amara. Okay, well, you know what? I guess I can understand now. I spoke too soon. We never knew his identity, though, as his belongings were burnt to ashes. Well, about that. The truth is, he was my biological father. Look at that face he's making. The dead guy's my dad. Laugh track. Oh? What? Why, of course! With his photo and her benevolence. Exactly, we might be able to prove Dirk completely innocent. And that would free her from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. Because here in Krain, blood is thicker than water! we can witness the final memories of the dead. Oh, shit! We're about to see Apollo's dad! What the fuck? Alright, shut up, go! Shut up and go! There was no evidence left in the wake of that blaze! That's what you think. But Turk went to the ends of the earth to bring his little souvenir back for us. And boy, is it the best piece of evidence ever. He knew that with it, we'd finally be able to conclusively settle the matter here in court. And save his children. Your Majesty, the defense requests that we hold a divination seance for this new victim.
Objection!
Oh, I was really hoping for spirit channeling. What a waste of time. The events of 23 years ago have passed and have already been deliberated at length.
Objection!
But wasn't Turk on trial for that incident as well today? So we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, would we? As the presiding judge, I will now share my thoughts on the matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amara is a case we can ill afford to leave open. And I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination seance. Bum, bum, bum. Why you? Your benevolence? If you knew the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform a divination seance, right? Of course. Leave it to me. Thank you. My father's full name is... Jove Justice! All right. All right. Oh, holy mother! Whoops, I dropped something. That was my fault, not the cat's. Oh, holy mother! The something something!
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here, O dance of devotion, so that we may receive their...
Ready to skip this. Watching this like 4 times in one chapter thing is a bit excessive. Can't just drop a baby. Ah, that wasn't interesting enough. You gotta spirit channel him, man. Maya, get off your ass and do it. The spirit of the victim has granted us a window into his final moments. It would appear the divination seance was a success. So those were my father's final moments. That baby we saw must have been you, Apollo. I will now decipher the experience of the deceased. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Transformation Central. Very well, here are my interpretations of the facts as gleaned from the seance vision. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze! Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. I know just one statement I gotta refute. Because if you carefully watch the seance vision, you should have seen there was a plate there, a metallic plate with a reflective surface, and someone was there for a split second! That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. My father's final memories. They're right here for everyone to see, but can any of them unlock the truth behind what happened 23 years ago? Bum bum bum! Alright, here we go. Let's see, to speed this up, we gotta push A. Ah! Wait, that's just a hand. Well, it shows a glove. Okay. Wait. Why? Ah!
Objection!
Can't fool me. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter that was found at the crime scene. However, the hand holding the lighter in the seance vision appears to be gloved. I believe you're right. What could this mean? It calls into question whether the hand in the vision really was Dirk's. If only we can make out the details a little better. Very well. I will attempt to focus a bit more on what the disease is. Perhaps that will help refine the seance vision. Bum bum bum! Duh, 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 duh. A little messed up at the end there, but that's okay. It does seem that there was a glove on that hand. Still, what significance could that have? It means that Dirk's fingerprints got on the lighter at some other time. Somebody could have even put them there after the fire.
Objection!
All you have is pure speculation, while the fact remains that they're his fingerprints. Therefore, it stands to reason that Dirk was the one who used the lighter.
Objection!
It just means I have to prove that the figure in the vision is someone else, using the information in my father's final memories. Either way, it seems that I must revise my insights. Okay, she's updated her insights. Time to go over them and see if there are any new inconsistencies. Oh, now I'm not quite so sure. Let me watch it again. Well, you could see a tattoo. Let's see. Alright, now let's push A. Hold it!
Objection!
Then this means that the real culprit is... The figure in this vision is clearly not Dirk. The distinctive band around their wrist gives their true identity away. Bum, 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 bum. That design! It can't be! This will prove just whose hand was captured in the seance vision. Wait, how do I know? How do I know? Oh! It's not a tattoo, it's a cuff!
Take that!
That photo! So you do believe the culprit to be... Justice Minister Inga had cuffs with the exact same pattern on them. You're referring to the cuffs of justice, correct? I hear they're a traditional part of a Kuraiinese Justice Minister's attire. But it's not Inga because Inga wasn't Justice Minister at the time. It was Queen Garen. But what does this tell us? It tells us that the figure in the vision is none other than Kuraiin's late Minister of Justice. No, it's not Inga, you bozo! Not my father! So he plotted the assassination of the former queen as well as the current one. Nayuda? What you've proposed is not possible, Apollo, for back then Ninga was not the Minister of Justice. The Justice Minister 23 years ago was... you, Queen Garen. Oh, right. She served as the Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. I guess she also prosecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this vision is actually... Your Eminence, it's you, isn't it? This is madness! Madness? Why would Her Eminence do such a thing? Because she would ascend to the throne. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister Amara. That's why she tried to assassinate her. I find this all very hard to swallow. Your Eminence, are you the one responsible for tearing my family apart? And was it you who killed my father? Well, I'm asking you a question!
Insolence!
Peasants, always carrying on about things of no import. You do not deny it, then. You conceal the truth and use me for your own designs. Oh, Nayuda, spare me your feeble-minded line of questioning. Even if Dirk were cleared of all charges, it shall still be I who decides Rafa's fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? Remember, the child lives only by my good graces. Now kneel before me and fulfill your end of the bargain by offering me your head. Yes, openly admit to the blackmail right here in court. Stupid lady. Your Eminence. Would you kindly fuck yourself? I am done heeding your commands. Even as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secrets was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you've been deceiving me all the while. Nayuda, you dare defy me! Your Eminence, I can turn the other cheek no more. Therefore, I hereby retract my confession in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. Retract, you say! Dirk, the final piece of evidence you left behind, has released Nayuda from his suffering. And now, he's finally free. In all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I'd believed all was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you have awakened me with your demonstration of our father's creed. Ah, not at my face! Hope you have your 3D glasses on.
Never yields.
I will carry on Dirk's legacy and fulfill his dream. Hear me, Garen. I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution. Ba 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 ba. Insolent fool! Now even you prattle on about revolution. Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, it seems we're finally making some headway down the road that Dirk carved out for us. Now, if we could just prove Garen's guilt, we can continue on down that road towards the revolution Dirk dreamed of. Your Eminence, you have been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense? Not so fast, Your Majesty. For the cuffs could have been stolen and used without my knowledge. So you see, they can hardly be considered proof of anything. Why, I believe you're right. But we know she's guilty. Well, lawyer, is there any other evidence you'd have me refute? Unfortunately, this photo was the last piece of evidence Dirk left for me. So as far as evidence goes, I've got nothing else regarding the case from the past. However, now that Prosecutor Sadmati has retracted his confession, We'll have to re-deliberate the current case from scratch. Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear who the guilty party is. Queen Garen. The defense accuses you of the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Karain. But, do you have any evidence, defense? Evidence that will prove Garen was the killer. There is still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice. Minister Inga's final memories. In them, the minister's killer posed as Dirk. Therefore, one must ask, how did the killer dispose of their disguise? You're right. A lot of blood would have spattered onto the killer. So the blood-soaked clothes would have to have been dealt with somehow. If they're still around somewhere, then...
Objection!
I was wondering what absurd idea you would concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I doubt you could find them
Objection!
now. Then you don't know us very well. Your benevolence. On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. Now, during that time, you saw Queen Garen, did you not? Yes, I did. I saw my mother entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it had nothing to do with my father's murder. Raifa! You would not dare! When the queen headed into the palace, did she have Dirk's clothes in her possession? No. No, she did not. So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard. The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime, but they did not find anything resembling Dirk's clothes. But you knew that already, didn't you, prosecutor? Yes, I admit no clothing was found. So you admit that you are merely speculating, chasing phantoms and delusions of evidence that never existed. This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't just disappear like that. If Garen wasn't carrying any clothes, she must have gotten rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found. I believe Dirk's clothes were hidden here.
Take that!
The tomb! You believe the clothing was hidden there? Yes, it's the only place it can be. Very well, where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden?
Take that!
Of course, that makes perfect sense. The clothes weren't simply hidden, they were returned to where they belonged. And by that you mean, the killer would have had to get Dirk's clothes from somewhere. Luckily, they were right there. Of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dirk's body was already in the sarcophagus, so the killer could have simply borrowed his clothes. Right, before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dirk's clothes, and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. And after the minister was killed, Dirk's clothes were returned to his body. So what? This is still all speculation. We know not where those clothes were actually used in the murder. Therefore, you cannot prove that they are somehow connected to this case.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, but I believe you already knew that. These clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of this. Wait a minute. Where is, Hold on a second. Okay, for a second I was like, maybe it's his eye patch is on a different eye, but no, that's not the case.
Take that!
The bloodstains on Dirk's chest prove that these clothes were used during the crime. I beg to differ, Mr. Justice. I believe Detective Sky already offered a suitable explanation for those. Dirk had been shot 3 times in the chest. Right, so then these bloodstains, they are the product of Mr. Inga's bullets. They bear no relation to the matter at hand. Is it this?
Take that! Objection! Take that! 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 Take that!
The bloodstains on Dirk's chest are no doubt the result of being shot by the minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. There's also some blood splatter extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area. I believe this blood splatter came from...
Take that!
The killer wore those clothes during the murder, and the blood splatter must have come from Minister Ringa. I thought it was all Dirk's, but that makes sense. Only one way to be sure, though. Let's get those stains analyzed. Indeed, this may be the conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt.
Objection!
You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes. They could very well have been hidden by a third party. But could they really? I'd say the possibility of someone other than Garen hiding the clothes. No, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it. That was your own testimony, word for word. And with this, I'm gonna end this video here. So stay tuned, hopefully I'll have videos up for next week as well, I'll let you know. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye!